How's the Josh?
Hi, sir.
How's the Josh?
Hi, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, Sunday morning, a beautiful time for everybody to relax at home. I'm so happy to see so many young faces here. So I got this invitation yesterday late in the evening. I think one of my common friends approached Shantanu and he suggested my name. So I'm really not sure whether I really deserve to be here as a chief guest, because my journey of life has been mostly in the defense forces till 2017, when I was serving as and retired as a brigadier. Thereafter, I was for 8 years the director in a very reputed institute called Army Institute of Technology. Some of the young people may be knowing this institute, which is an engineering college essentially, only for the wards of the defense forces personnel, both serving and retired. So we have a strength of about over 2,000 students, intake of nearly 500, and predominantly undergraduate institute. So there, in my 8 years, that is where I was exposed to academia. We started the first entrepreneurship cell under the initiative of the Ministry of Education. They started participating in Smart India hackathons. Our students became entrepreneurs, and I was very proud to be associated with some of the students, ex-students, alumni, many of them who are now very successful entrepreneurs in their own merit. And there was a lot of learning for me about entrepreneurship, how to motivate people, how to motivate students to get on to this path of life, which very few of them think about, or even or dream about, or even if they dream to venture into it. So that's my short, I would say, association with entrepreneurship. I've just retired from there 4 months back, and currently thinking of various ideas. So would love to network with anybody who is interested. When I came in, I think last presentation we talked about the space entrepreneurship. I'm sorry, I couldn't get your name. You are?
Praveen.
Sorry?
Praveen.
And just a few days back, I was listening to a long podcast, nearly 1.5 hours podcast, of one of the great young entrepreneurs whose name became famous during the Ops Sindoor, or the company's name rather. And so this young person's name is Bodhisattva Sangapriya, and some of you may have heard about it. So this gentleman, I think in Sambalpur, he did his graduation, engineering college, that is in Odisha, remote place in Odisha. And there he, right from the first year, he started his leadership as entrepreneur. And they created the first student-driven rocket program, which was later recognized by ISRO and then the Prime Minister himself. So it was completely funded internally, you can call it crowd-funded, whatever, against all the resistance, opposition and requirements of the college curricula and various other aspects. They managed to develop a rocket, a miniature rocket though, but for first year, second students to do something like that was amazing. And today he's running a company called IG Drones, which had a significant role in what happened during Ops Sindoor. I really don't know how many of you know about the participation of young MSMEs or startups in the success of Ops Sindoor. And this has been officially recognized. If you go on the site of the Press Information Bureau, there is a lot of information about this. There are 4 or 5 companies they have highlighted. One is, of course, I mentioned the IG Drones, which made some specific types of drones, and they literally created them overnight. Then there is Alpha Design, which made the kamikaze loitering munitions. There is Paras Defense Technologies. There are 4 or 5 such companies. You will find the names once you go on these sites, or you have go through any presentations available on the net. Now, when you talk of this one company, two companies, you will all agree. Some of you, many of you are in that business or you are in that environment. It is not only one company. It is probably at the back end, at second tier, third tier, there are other suppliers also. Most of them are startups because new ideas require new thoughts, require new products, require somebody to get out of the line. And that's what happens when entrepreneurship is set up. I even today interact with many of my college ex-alumni who are very successful entrepreneurs. The common thread amongst them is that all of them seem extremely happy with what they are doing, whatever level they are. Because the happiness of creation is something one of the highest level of happiness. So that's something what you have created, whether it is a company, a business, a product. And I think I keep telling the students, 99% of the students are looking at, okay, I pass out from here, an engineering college or whichever institute, I search for a job. First priority is go abroad, make America great or make Europe great, not India, and make my own bank balance great. Second option is, of course, MNCs within India or good companies, get a good placement. And let me tell you, once they are into that rut, in the comfort zone, then you remain static. The level of achievements and happiness plateaus. While there are very few, 1%, who jump into the field of entrepreneurship, young, I think enjoy much more. Of course it's tough, of course there are hurdles, of course there will be much more resistance, much more problems that you will be facing. But at the end of the day, a failed entrepreneur is more happy than a successful job seeker, I would say. So this is what I have very closely experienced. Today also I mentor a few of the entrepreneurs who have come out of my college or otherwise, some from my family also. And it's very close to me, close to my heart, to see so much of energy, so much of creativity amongst the young people. I cannot give you a sermon on what to do and what not to do because I am myself not waded through this jungle. But what I have seen and what I got the information and wisdom from some of the others, I am trying to share with you. So the part which I am aware of is the defense industry to a certain extent. And this is an area where there is a huge opportunity. Just like space, defense is again a very new field. About 10 years back, we were net importers or massively importing defense equipment, or 30% only of equipment, right from your shoelaces to boots to uniform. You take entire defense product, whatever is required for the defense industry, only 30% was made in India. This was in 2013-14. Okay, less than 30%, and 70% was being imported. From there we have come along, we have started exporting. We have become one of the exporting nations in the top 25 exporting countries for defense products. India has just jumped into that. And from this 30-70 ratio, we are now into 65-35. So 65 we are now manufacturing indigenously, and many of that what is being manufactured indigenously is being exported also. And 35% only is now imported. Of course, most of the high tech is still being imported. But this is a great field for young entrepreneurs, some of you who are sitting here, to explore. And defense ecosystem is huge. It's not just bullets or aeroplanes or guns or things like that. It's huge. You name it. Anything what is required in civil life will be required in will be required in defense. The soldier is also a human being, but it has to be much more hardened. That's the main difference. It has to be tested against much more rigorous conditions. Okay, so that's the main difference. So there is a huge scope. the Indian defense exports, which was minuscule just 10 years back, has grown 34 times in 10 years. 34 times. As I said, we are now in top 25 exporters. And you will be very happy to note that out of these exports, 60% of the export components are made by MSMEs and startups. Only 30% of the big industries like Tata's or Bharat Forge or all these industries, Mahindras and all. So it is 60% of products are coming from the MSMEs. As I mentioned, of course, the drone industry is full of startups and MSMEs today. And it's a big competition there. The sky is the limit. As you know, the Russia-Ukraine war, Ukraine is able to sustain for 2.5 years only because of garage entrepreneurs or garage factories they call it. Because they are using drones in thousands every day and they are able to match Russian power. And Ukrainians, of course, they are getting support from the other European and US and all, but after all, their indigenous people, entrepreneurs are working from the basements, from the workshops, from underground and manufacturing drones and other equipment in thousands. That's because they were forced into it. They were literally thrown into this thing, but they had the capability, they had the confidence. And I see what I see in Indian young people, especially the generation Z, what they call, they are absolutely creative, they are confident. So at times, it borders arrogance, because for generation of mine, for us, humility is very important. Following the rules is very important. For them, it is not so. But at times, that leads to great creativity. So use your creativity. So, all I can say is that this is the right time. Young people, you are in the golden age of India. We are marching towards becoming the top 3 economy, maybe become top 2 in next 10, 12 years. And this will only be possible through innovation and entrepreneurship. Number 1 power today in the country is US. Fast catching up is China. US became number 1 again only through innovations. Yesterday's startups, 40 years back, companies which were startup today are the mega companies, multinational companies who are having GDP, where their turnover is more than our GDP also, some of them. Amazon, Microsoft, they are all started in the garage or in backyards. You know about Apple. Many of you must have read about Steve Jobs. So they all started as startups, initially failing, struggling, and then zooming out. Same thing has happened in China. Of course, China, there was a lot of government support, and they now become number 2 in the world, and soon should be overtaking US in another 10, 15 years. And we are also catching up. We are now top 3 destination of innovation in terms of unicorns being created every year, even in terms of the startups succeeding. So it's a great time in India, great environment. All that is required is attitude. So that's all I want to say. Anybody who wants to connect with me for ideas, for some guidance, and I can do nothing, but I have a small network. I can expose you to the network. Finally, I would like to say there are some acronyms that you must remember. So, scan it. You must scan it on your phones, okay? So what is scan it? S stands for, the first S is start young. Many people will tell you, पहले थोड़ा नौकरी कर लो 5 साल, then jump into entrepreneurship. That's many of them do it, and it's successful also. But then 90% get into the comfort zone. So don't get into the comfort zone. Remain out of the comfort zone, then you will be more hungry. So start young. C is creative. This is a time to be creative. The most creative phase of human beings is up to 25, at the most 30. And creativity is associated with risk. Those creations can get destroyed and lead to better creations. That's the law of nature. So who can do that? Young people can do that. They have the spirit in that themselves. So creative. A is ask for funding. Don't be shy. Many of my friends who were bootstrapped their journeys, as I said, in alumni, I keep talking to them. They say the time 10 years back they have started, 5 years back they have started. So there were not many people supporting. So we had to bootstrap, and we took that much longer time. But today there are funds. I am sure Dr. Gade sir is going to talk about those things only, the fundings and things available in the government schemes. So there is adequate funding available both from government and private industry and private entities. If you have a good idea, you have a good team, you will be supported. And so seek for funding, because early funding will speed up your entrepreneurial journey. I was in a college where we tried to motivate students right from second year, third year onwards, or even first year, to do something on their own, do the projects, convert them into a small business or something. I would say 1 out of 10, so we could sell the idea to them, 1 out of the 10 students. But even those students, we had to provide them some funds initially. So I, as a director, created a fund which I also contributed into, and that fund still remains as one of the bank accounts of the college. And we had a criteria on which any student at any stage, even 1 year after passing out, could put up an application. I want fund to make my first prototype. So we call it first prototype fund. 40,000, 50,000, that's all is required for the first prototype or any kind of this thing. And once that is available, you could see that the student is free from the thought process of पैसे कहाँ से लाऊं? वो पेरेंट्स देंगे नहीं पैसे, क्या बेवकूफ करेगा, पढ़ाई कर, वो तो पढ़ाई है, लेकिन no parents will understand that today. Okay, I am also a parent. That is a better पढ़ाई to make a project any day. You can learn what you can learn in 3 months in a project, you cannot learn in 3 years or 4 years of engineering. So that initial funding, seek for it. Unabashedly, don't be ashamed of that. Okay, and you will not fail. Always think of that. So the next is N. That is network. Collaborate. Don't go alone. Don't think I have a secret and I could keep it. You don't have a secret. There are 28,000 people working on similar ideas. But how you execute that idea is what is important. So collaborate. Talk about it with people. If somebody else takes your idea and does a better job, don't mind about it. You will come to another idea. Okay? So always network. And not network only with technologies or technical people. Network with business people. Network with financial. Network with somebody who understands the company laws. Because that's what will make you an entrepreneur or a successful entrepreneur. So networking is extremely important. Network with mentors. And at least one of my achievements during this period was I was able to get together the alumni along with current students, made a network, and many of them now helping each other start their own journeys. The successful ones are promoting the new ones. They are integrating among themselves. So networking is extremely important in this. So don't go alone, go together. Be iterative about thought processes. You feel that you are failing somewhere, get out of it, do something new. Actually, in defense forces, right in the beginning, when we start our training journey, we are taught about certain principles of war. One of the principles is always continue with the success and never follow your defeat. That means don't press on when you are getting defeated. Withdraw, try somewhere else. So that is how you do it. Iterate. Iterate your journeys. Iterate where you feel that okay, from here onwards, I am not succeeding. Withdraw, think again, think afresh. Be iterative, and last is team. Have a good team. Teamwork is extremely important. The example I gave you right at the beginning, in that interview, that Bodhi, they call him, he talked about the team he built right from the college days, right from his first year days. In the hostel, there was a team. Yes, they bunked classes, they worked on these things, they worked together. That's why they were able to achieve. The team was as big as 50 students. And I have seen good teams working and achieving great things. So teamwork is extremely important. And whenever there is a team, you require leaders. Not one, maybe more leaders. Leaders does not mean only one dictator on top. Leader means it could be a leadership team also. So scan it, press on, and you will succeed. That's all I want to say. Thank you for inviting me here, and all the best to everyone. Jai Hind.
Wow, what a terrific address by Honorable Bhat sir. So we will do a quick felicitation to Honorable Bhat sir. I will first of all call Gade sir on the stage to award Bhat sir with our lifetime honorary membership. Gade sir, please be on the stage. But sir, I will once again recommend you to come on the stage. Please give a huge round of applause. And I'll call our chapter president, Abhay Deshmukh sir, to give a shawl to Bhat sir. Then I'll call Sri Surya Pujari sir to give Bhat sir a very warm welcome through a gift hamper. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And now I would recommend Gade sir to come on the stage, and we will hand over some gifts to Gade sir. I will once again recommend Bhat sir to come on the stage.
So, नमस्कार. मी ज्या क्षणी या हॉलमध्ये आलो आणि ही माझ्या दृष्टीने एक अपॉर्च्युनिटी होती ती भट साहेबांना ऐकण्याची. आणि भट साहेब जेव्हा बोलायला लागले तेव्हा माझा 2017 पासूनचा सगळा कन्सल्टिंग एक्सपिरियन्स मी लिंक करत गेलो. आणि तो मी लिंक करू शकलो कारण माझ्या 25 वर्षाच्या कॉर्पोरेट करिअर नंतर मी जेव्हा कन्सल्टिंगमध्ये आलो तेव्हा माझ्या दृष्टीने हे जग पूर्ण वेगळं होतं. आधी मी टेबलच्या या साईडला होतो आणि कन्सल्टिंगमध्ये मी टेबलच्या त्या साईडला गेलो. आणि ट्रस्ट मी, तुम्ही जेव्हा तुमच्या ॲक्टिव्ह लाईफमधनं बाहेर येता, कॉर्पोरेट लाईफमधनं किंवा सर जसे डिफेन्समधनं बाहेर आला, द वर्ल्ड इज नॉट इझी. बट ॲट द सेम टाईम जसं भट साहेबांनी सांगितलं की देर आर इमेन्स अपॉर्च्युनिटी फॉर अ टॅलेंट फॉर अ एंटरप्रिनर्स लाईक यू. आणि हे केवळ मी स्टेटमेंट नाही करत आहे, हे माझ्या अनुभवाने येत आहे. कारण कुठलेही ऑर्गनायझेशन घ्या, कुठलेही स्टार्टअप घ्या, कुठल्याही साईजला, कुठल्याही डॉमेनला ते ऑर्गनायझेशन घ्या, कुठलीही ऑर्गनायझेशन नेहमी 4 पिलरवर ग्रोथ करते. आणि पहिला पिलर आहे पीपल. इफ यू आर गुड टीम, एव्हरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल, राईट. दुसरं आहे तुमची स्ट्रॅटेजी, वेअर यू वुड लाईक टू हेड, तुमचं विजन काय आहे. थर्ड इज एक्झिक्युशन. अँड फायनली कॅश. भट साहेब बोलताना हे सगळे पिलर्स मला आठवले आणि ह्या पिलर्सचं इम्प्लिमेंटेशन ज्या ज्या ऑर्गनायझेशनमध्ये मी एंटरप्रेन्योर्सला करण्यासाठी हेल्प केली, हे सगळं आय रिकॉल केलं. दुसरी महत्त्वाची गोष्ट की त्यांनी त्यांचा जो डिफेन्सचा अनुभव सांगितला, डिफेन्सची जी अपॉर्च्युनिटी सांगितली, इट्स अ फॅक्ट. म्हणजे आता मी ज्यांना ज्यांना कन्सल्ट करतोय तर आपली एक कंपनी डिफेन्समध्ये रोडवेज क्रिएट करते, डिफेन्समध्ये जाण्याचा प्रयत्न करते. एक जी कंपनी जी नाशिकमध्ये, इट्स अ डिफेन्स स्टार्टअप. आय एम ऑल्सो ॲडवायसिंग देम. सो यू विल सी people like Bhat sir who will help you people to come closer, to network with each other and grow together purposefully. Right? So don't hesitate to go seek for help, seek for assistance. Now defense हा तसाही माझा जिव्हाळ्याचा विषय आहे, कारण माझी बायको ती सदन कमांडमध्ये काम करते सर. सो आम्ही पण घरी तोफांच्या तोंडीच असतो. वी हॅव टू बी डिसिप्लिन. या सगळ्या गोष्टी ओघाने येतात. ऑफकोर्स दॅट्स इट भट साहेब. आय थिंक आपण एक सेपरेटली पण कनेक्ट करूया. अँड लेट्स सी. सो हे 2 शब्द मला ॲड करायचे होते जस्ट टू कॉम्प्लिमेंट व्हॉट मिस्टर भट हॅज टॉक्ड अबाउट. थँक्यू.
एक्चुअली हमारा फेस्ट जो था वो 30 तारीख को होने वाला था, लेकिन गाड़े सर के घर में थोड़ा फैमिली इमरजेंसी आने की वजह से वी पोस्टपोन द फेस्ट. एक्चुअली अभी गाड़े सर की मॉम बहुत ही माने आप कह सकते हैं कि बीमार है, फिर भी गाड़े सर आज यहाँ पे आए और हमारे साथ नॉलेज शेयर कर रहे हैं. दैट्स सो ग्रेट ऑफ हिम. सो वंस अगेन आई विल कॉल अदिति ऑन द स्टेज एंड नाउ आई विल कॉल भट्ट सर अगेन टू फेलिसिटेट गाड़े सर विद अ शॉल. Please give a huge round of applause for Honorable Gade sir. Then I will call from the Perennial Technologies Mansi Madam to come on the stage to honor Gade sir with the gift hamper. Perennial Technologies is our sponsor and basically taking care of the event. So we can use the entire donation amount, the membership amount for the underprivileged section of the society. Then I will call Honorable Chapter President Abhay sir to felicitate Gade sir with the lifetime membership of the club. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Now, since Bhat sir has some prior commitments, हम लोग सब अभी जाके आपके passes जो आपको दिए हुए meal passes उसके साथ brunch करेंगे. Then we will come back in 20-25 minutes back to the auditorium and जहाँ पे आप भट्ट सर के साथ डिस्कस कीजिए किस तरीके से आप आर्मी के साथ कोलैबोरेट कर सकते हैं, आपके बिजनेस किस तरह से कोलैबोरेट कर सकते हैं, उसके बारे में भी गाइडेंस सर से लीजिए. आपको और भी कुछ सवाल है, आपके किसी को बच्चों को आर्मी में भेजना है तो किस तरीके से भेज सकते हैं, वो भी गाइडेंस दीजिए. शिवानी मैम जैसे अभी एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हमारे साथ है जो आर्मी के साथ क्लोजली काम कर रहे हैं, तो वो भी फर्दर गाइडेंस सर से ले सकते हैं. सो वी विल ऑल सीक नॉलेज ड्यूरिंग द ब्रंच टाइम विद ऑनरेबल भट्ट सर एंड वी विल क्विकली हेड टुवर्ड्स द ब्रंच सेक्शन. थैंक यू.